Hello and good day. I am Nanda Chintaluri. I'm anchor for this session, and I am the Vice President Research and Analytics at RRD. I take care of global delivery for prestigious clients in the financial services industry. As we are implementing AI-based solutions in areas where we used to deploy knowledge workers and do judgment-driven work, we feel a bit scared. This is all very disruptive. And as I look back, 12 years back when I was at IIM Bangalore, our professor used to say coders will be the most sought after people in this world with the emergence of data science and analytics. But then just a couple of days back, Sridhar Vembu, the founder of Zoho, said coders would become a liability for companies instead of being assets. Now, as we stand at this transformative crossroads where generative AI is fundamentally reshaping the very nature of work we do, we wonder how careers will be going forward. I have with me an esteemed panel in this roundtable that aims to explore how to reimagine career frameworks, upskilling strategies, and organizational structures to remain relevant, and more importantly, to lead in this age of Gen AI. So let me introduce our panelists for the day. Bidappa Muttappa, he's an award-winning executive who has built and scaled AI-first organizations. His expertise spans generative AI, intelligent agents, data science, and machine learning. We have Harish Maheshwari here with us. Harish comes with 2 decades of experience in data science, analytics, artificial intelligence, and has worked in renowned organizations like Thomson Reuters, Texas Instruments, and Ocwen Financials. We have Janardhan Rajan, who's a practice head at Tech Mahindra, as well as an adjunct faculty at Mahe in marketing analytics. He comes with 2 decades of experience. And then we have Vijay Gautam. Vijay from the field of data governance and is a seasoned data architect with 18 years of experience in data engineering, analytics, and in leadership roles. Let me jump in and start with the panel now. So how is Gen AI redefining traditional roles across industries? What are these new roles that are emerging as a result? Bidappa, do you want to take
Yeah, sure.
start with this?
Thanks, Nanda, for the intro, and it's great to be here. Look, generative AI is not just changing how we work, right? It's defining what work is. From my perspective, we are in the middle of a massive transition, particularly in how we code. I think you brought a great example where, with tools like vibe coding, developers no longer need to start from scratch. You can access framework across language and seamlessly adopt them. What that means is, the engineers and architects can focus on architecture and system design rather than coding from scratch. This is a major transformation, and if I'm not wrong, it's already underway and set to scale even further in the near future, right? Another major shift is agentic workflow automation. So using frameworks like, LangGraph, AutoGen, we can literally automate entire workflow and operational process where we can significantly reduce manual intervention as well. So this allows team to focus on the strategic side and impact, right? So yes, Gen AI and agents are very real, and they are actively redefining traditional job roles. But what particularly excites me is the emerging of new skills. I will not look at that as a new role as such as it, but it's about upskilling and ensuring we are, part of this overall ecosystem. The two roles are Gen AI and agentic specialist and full stack engineers. So for me, Gen AI and agentic specialists are experts in prompt engineering, but more importantly, they understand how to design effective LLM and agent behavior. They need to know the testing tools, fine tuning tools. These skills will fundamentally change how AI teams are built. So full stack engineers are very critical in the space, not just for coding, but for integrating AI system. In generative AI, it's all about scale, adoption, integration, and governance. So without these skills, most projects stay stuck in POC stage. So these are my thoughts on how new roles are emerging. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, you've been speaking about new roles. How do you think organizations and individuals should prepare for this shift? Ashok, do you want to speak on how professionals should future proof their careers? Oh, Ashok is not with us. Oh, I'm very sorry.
So,
Janardhan, would you want to
yeah,
take this?
sure. I think, we are living in a world which is very, very dynamic. A lot of things are changing, and there is the chasm between academia and industry is only widening. But there is definitive efforts both from corporates and academia to bridge this. While they are trying to do it, the industry seems to be moving ever more faster. So I'd like to think this is a classic both crisis and an opportunity, right? Crisis because today the handshake is not well integrated. Opportunity because done well, I would like to think that if corporates act in getting a deeper association with academia, then possibly you can bring down, cost of talent acquisition. So the syllabus possibly to say it is dated is possibly an understatement, right? And things are moving so fast. And corporate, I mean, academia has this standard cycles of revising syllabus that cannot simply keep up with the needs of the business. So I think, there is a window of opportunity where corporates can work very closely with academia and make sure that, the last 3 to 6 months or last 2 semesters, they can infuse syllabus which makes them industry ready. Look at the challenges that some of the kids today are facing. They are coming out with graduations from leading reputed institutions, but they're not finding jobs. That's not a statement on their intelligence. It's misdirected efforts by this ecosystem. Second, that's at a what I would say at an academia industry level, but there is also at a personal level. I would like to think, there are certain key traits, which will always help us tide off the onslaught of technology. Say, for instance, I think creative thinking, critical thinking, curiosity, right, and continuous learning. These are all aspects which I think will set individuals prepare for a future which is unpredictable, right? See, the future is what it is. You cannot predict, but then you can prepare the kids of today by giving them some of these key skills. And that's not going to come easy because I think the education system is not designed to provide
Did we lose you? Yeah, maybe then we'll move on. And Vijay, what is your take on, with uh, how do we define meaningful work for humans now with the cognitive tasks taking over, the AI taking over all these cognitive tasks?
Yes, Nanda. So I think meaningful work, the concept has not changed from long. So what is meaningful to us is where we can create an impact, a much more positive impact to our community, to our society, and to the world at large. So AI and other tools, Gen AI, we should augment all of this to focus on what can make a societal impact, like creating or solving complex problems of language translation to help maybe a speech delayed child, or maybe helping alleviate poverty, where you can give them tools that will work, right? And what we also talk about and experience on a daily basis, climate change. So how do you ensure that the compute that we use for AI is reduced, where we can still have meaningful work done but at a much lower cost to the environment? So these are things that will definitely have an impact on us. And again, what will make work meaningful is where we can spend time with our family, our friends, and make those relationships meaningful. So AI should be used to augment our work. It should not be the end all mission statement for anyone. That's how I think of it, Nanda.
Good point that AI should be used to make our life richer and better.
Yeah.
And Harish, what is your take on what core skills, technical or non-technical, will be essential to thrive in this world where AI is a part of the workforce?
Sure, Nanda. I think very interesting or very provoking question. Keep hearing this kind of things from the people. So, in my perspective, thriving in the workforce dominated by generative AI, it requires a mix of technical and non-technical skills, right? which will enable individual to effectively interact with and leverage with the AI technology. So if I talk about like technical skills, right, and club into 4 different sections. One is very, very basic, talk about the data literacy, right? Data is a core, data is a foundation, right? How to interpret, analyze, or visualize the data, and how it can be making ready for the for AI deployment, right? The second piece talks about is like some kind of the basic technical knowledge related to the programming. There are a lot of tools available in the market, which is like a non-technical person can also easily understand and can drive, right? Like Python is easy, Ultrix is easy, and some of those tools. Some of the knowledge related to like machine learning, what actually how the machine interpret those data, how they put together the algorithms, and some of these learning on the AI platform, right? These are the technical skills that is required definitely for every individual in the AI era. But at the same time, right, we should not also uh, not only think about the technical, but the non-technical skills, right, which also require like the critical thinking, right? Talking about how we can communicate, how we can keep learning, right? Act fast, learn fast, right? That is what the things are happening in the current area. So if I can quote out one example, which actually I'm personally mentoring a lot of our finance professionals, and they always have like, okay, AI is all about technical, right? And that is what I'm keep hearing. So when I talk to them, what I do is we try to make them aware that how they can learn with the data, how they can understand those models. There are a lot of free models available, right? They can analyze the data, they can forecast the trend and make AI and these tools as a friend, right? Which can improve their productivity. And they can also leverage some of the tools which I talk about, like Python script or Ultrix. They can automate the data cleansing, and then they can collaborate with data scientists to develop more sophisticated AI driven tools. So these technical and non-technical mix, I think it is making them very, very successful and very competitive in this AI environment.
Vijay, do you want to add to what Harish has said on terms of what skills we should have? Vijay, you're on mute.
Yeah, sure. Yes, yeah, I'm here. Yeah. So I think very good points for you, Store, right? So in addition to that, what we should be thinking about as skills is critical thinking, right? So critical thinking, building relations, emotional intelligence, empathy, right? So these are skills, the soft skills that will matter. So no matter what we do, human emotions cannot be replaced by AI, and that's where, as humans, we should prioritize uh, our skills, our learning. So as as kids, and like very Janardhan was telling, right? So kids should be taught about interdisciplinary learning, right? So where math works in biology, how does Fibonacci series have a big impact on plants and flowers? Right? So those are kind of interpersonal skills, interdisciplinary skills. So these are the skills that will make us resilient, right? And also we should try and focus on one very important thing, which is AI ethics and responsible usage of AI. Right? AI is a tool, and it is double. It's kind of can go either ways. So we all need to prioritize and focus on AI ethics and responsible usage of AI. That's where it will make work meaningful, impactful, and also give us that sense of satisfaction and commitment to the larger purpose, which is human betterment.
So important point, in terms of ethics and AI, which is by itself a very big topic. But in the meanwhile, we have Ashok joining us. Ashok Kalra is a AI professional himself, and Ashok comes with 15 years of experience in the field of e-commerce, financial services, and the media space. He is with The Economist as the head of business intelligence. And Ashok, welcome to the panel. Ashok, you are on mute. Can you unmute yourself? Okay. I think while he gets ready, we will proceed with the questions. I would now want to ask Vidappa, how should educational institutions and corporate learning programs evolve, to create AI-powered pathways? What should they be adding to their syllabuses?
Yeah. Thanks, Nand. I think it's very critical question. So, to align with future AI-powered careers, I think both educational institution as well as corporate learning programs needs to fundamentally rethink how they approach learning. Right? We can't rely on the legacy, textbooks, theoretical materials, and one-time certification because the AI is evolving, and also our learning should be continuous, agile, and hands-on. Right? It's not enough now to understand concepts in theory. Learners need to apply AI in real world. And this can only happen between the strong collaboration between industry and academia. And this collaboration will also help us to bridge AI skill gap. And I always advocate a lot in terms of how organization need to collaborate and make sure that we help institution with real use cases for their capstone projects or assignments. The second thing, I just want to reiterate what Harish mentioned. Right? It's so important that AI learning or fluency shouldn't be limited to technical rules, right? Even functions across business needs to understand what AI can do to their domain, how to interact with it, and how to make informed decision based on AI output. This is critical for real adoption, right? So I think everyone here will struggle or struggling with adoption. But if you truly want to become an AI first organization, then AI literacy has to be democratized, not just among engineers, but across the board. So ultimately, the goal is not just to train people to use AI, but to equip them to lead a AI first organization.
Right. And Vijay, see, traditionally education was learning, remembering stuff, and I think that is no longer relevant right now. uh, what more do you think people should learn? You've spoken about critical thinking, soft skills, and all that, but technically, how do people grow?
Sure. So, just to add to what Vidyapat told, right? So, the one thing that if we have to create successful people, we should inculcate that nature of curiosity, innovation, and continuous learning, lifelong learning. That's cliched, but it is the mandatory thing, right? And again, when you talk about technical skills, the one aspect which a lot of people kind of miss. So get people to understand data, get people to understand data governance, get people to understand simple metadata management. So these are core skills that AI can augment but can never replace. So unless we are able to govern data at scale, unless we learn what is the right use of data, right? So we will not be successful AI practitioners. So very critical to learn about data governance, very critical to learn about metadata management, master data management, and to top it all, a little bit knowledge of cloud, right? It is very important. And a lot of the organizations and companies now, they have vouchers, they keep having these hackathons and boot camps. There's tremendous cross skilling that can happen there, interdisciplinary learning. So as a practitioner, I would recommend everybody to participate in those hackathons, and the learning there is exponential. So that is very important for me. That's where I think we will have things going for us.
Okay. And we know that some industries are getting disrupted more than the other industries. And Harish mentioned that finance professionals think, oh, this is all IT guys who are impacted and we're not impacted. Janardhan, do you want to talk about where do you think the impact is more, and where do you see the change happening at a
Sure.
high speed?
Sure. Three industries that, at least in my perspective or my lens, that I can see having massive disruption is obviously starting with education. Obviously, it's related to knowledge, then marketing and legal, and possibly all knowledge intensive industries. So let me just illustrate what I see in marketing itself, right? So marketing, typically you'll see two broad sets of activities. One is you do the content generation, right? And then the other one is the dissemination of this, tracking, making sure your campaign is successful, etc. Now, a really, really interesting part is today you need not be handicapped. Traditionally, you would have somebody like a copywriter who's very good in language. Then you had a designer who's very good in graphics. Then you had somebody on the video side, good in photography, video editing skills, etc. But thanks to some of the contemporary tools, it could be Midjourney, it could be ChatGPT. I feel today, if you look at the opportunity that is there for someone who's creative, okay, they can be Steven Spielberg on a shoestring, right, so to speak. And you can actually conceive a movie. In fact, when we started exploring Gen A as a team, that is what we all said. Okay, fine. As we started exploring different tools and what it can bring to you, the entire workflow in marketing can change. So what this really means is you can do more with less. It's not going to remove people. It means that you can't sit in your silo. You can't say I'm a copywriter, I will survive as a copywriter. No, you will have to traverse the next adjacency. You can't say, okay, I know copywriting but I don't know graphics, right? So possibly you will have to still go on to things like Canva. And almost every tool worth its salt today is infusing AI. And so you can't sit pretty saying that, look, I'm good in graphics, I can't do this. So while it looks like, again, like a crisis, it's an opportunity, because you should stop thinking that, okay, I'm creative. You can take charge and say, instead of being a graphic designer, you can now think like a creative director. Or if you're a creative director already, you can think like an entrepreneur and look at all the tools available in, say, an Adobe stack. They're just getting better and better by the day. And I'm pretty sure, so it's ultimately you're limited by your creative vision. Now, that is the part. Creative vision, editing, these are skills which possibly are not easy to acquire. And I came across, somebody who teaches sound engineering. He said all the technicalities of sound engineering, you can learn that in a very finite time. But the vision required to create a sound envelope, that takes a lifetime, right? So I feel those are aspects, be it editing, be it having a vision, a creative vision, and maybe creating a campaign, understanding your marketplace, much more in depth. Those are uniquely human skills. So ultimately, we're all being pushed to be a little bit more perspective. So to summarize, I would say that these are the four industries that I see: education, marketing, legal, pharma, and all knowledge, high tech engineering, right? Knowledge intensive industries. So these are the ones from my perspective. Yeah.
Ashok, do you want to add your perspective here in terms of what is getting disrupted faster than the other industries? I guess we are not able to connect with
Yeah, we're
Ashok.
not able to hear you, Ashok.
Does anyone else wants to add their perspective to this?
Sure. So one thing I was just thinking as Janardhan kept telling. So the underlying theme of what he told us: don't focus on the effort, focus on the impact. Right. So our careers going forward will be defined by the impact we bring into the work we do. It is no longer about the effort. So gone are the days when I would tell I have worked 10 hours, 12 hours. No,
Yeah, yeah.
you can still be a specialist, work just for 10 minutes, but make that impact that will have a long-term career progression, right? So it is about the impact we do, and our impact just does not have to be confined with the work we do for our corporate. So create gig projects, right? So have passion projects, go help a school, go help a library, make things easy for them. So the impact that we create is what will help us.
Bidappa, do you want to talk about, how we remain, how do we evolve, how do mindset change that is required for professionals as we embrace this whole new world of AI driven work?
Yeah, sure. I want to share, three key, what you call the track that leaders or professionals needs to follow. I'll make it short. One of the biggest mindset shift is, I think, from expert mode to, learner mode. I think Vijay touched upon it. So in the AI world, if you feel that you have learned everything, I don't think it makes sense, right? You need to double down on skill set. At very best, you need to know multiple tech stacks or architecture. right? That will help leaders to, make sure that they give direction to their team and also understand what mission can do versus humans, right? This is very important. So that kind of openness is essential in AI enabled team. Secondly, I think we need to stop seeing AI as a threat or something that is, only for tech, only that tech team can handle it. If you want to be a AI first organization across business, everyone needs to upskill with AI, because end of the day, business will adopt AI and operationalize it. So, this will enable more use cases and we get more, AI enabled output. Finally, the key thing is, right, it's not about AI you need to follow across any function, is we need to normalize experimentation. I think one of the challenge I've seen in the AI world is we tend to take it more personal and emotional when a model don't work. But I think AI development are iterative, and not everything works for first time. So creating that culture is very important, and it will enable us to make AI real and scalable.
Thank you. And Harish, do you want to add some last words?
Definitely. I think Vidappa has covered very fantastic 3 points. Just to add another point on that one is there is a value of AI, there is also value of money, right? So every organization also need a budget, right? So that is also required that we need to, as an organization or as a leader, we need to park budget for our teams to continuously learn, right? Equip those skills, give them a chance to like learn these technologies, learn from the failure, right? Because I've seen the AI, we are still in the maturing path. There are a lot of tools are available, but we can't say that everything is 100% completely mature. We need to keep evolving as a process, and that is what our team, and as a leader, our responsibility is more to work along with the team, right? Not just giving the directions. So I think putting together AI with the right budget and money, I think that is what can enable more to the organizations.
Thank you. I think this was a very wonderful, insightful session. We know that, as AI is coming in and taking on more roles, it's not the end of the world, but then we definitely need to adapt and change. Career paths where, you would finish your education, go for a job and retire. That linear trajectory is no longer possible, right? It is being replaced by something which is very dynamic, very cross-functional kind of a organization where you need to work with AI and then continuously be in that learner mode. You are no longer defined by your titles. You need to be able to adapt. You need to have that curiosity, critical thinking, and continuously evolve in the changing world. More importantly, AI is not necessarily a threat. It can help you have a better quality of life. You can spend more time with your family, solve some real life problems, and focus on the softer skills that will help you connect more with others. So, with that, thanks everyone, and thank you, 3AI.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Nanda.
much.
Thank you, Nanda. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Nanda. Thank you, everyone.